So it's 4 o'clock and I'm going to be heading off for Helgoland. So we got away from there pretty well. So it's 4:30, just coming out of Ijmuiden. Just about to cut out through the breakwater, and we've got an inbound ship up from the sea. It's coordinated with Ijmuiden port control. There is 2 other sailing vessels coming out with me. We're just heading into this sort of a bit of a sea state. We're not totally clear of the port yet. We're just coming offshore of the south finger, so hopefully in the next sort of few minutes we'll start to pick up some of the tide flow that we're getting up to Den Helder. That's the whole point in leaving this early, is to get the tide up, past and round at least the channel into Den Helder, because the tide comes out of that really strong. So we need to just get around past that and then up onto the start of the Frisian Islands, Texel being the first island there.
Netherlands Coast Guard with the following safety information broadcast. Fair warning, coastal waters, adjacent lakes and estuaries, southwest 6. Zurich 3. Cook of Holland. Ijmuiden. Tex. Howling. Rotten. Delfzijl. IJsselmeer. Raken. No warning. End of Gale warning. End of safety broadcast. This is the Netherlands Coast Guard.
That was a security call from the Coast Guard for gales down the Dutch coastline from sort of like the south of Holland up to Ijmuiden, and that starts sort of this evening. Probably quite difficult to properly forecast this, the bottom end of this low pressure, but I think as it's coming through you get like the bottom part of the low pressure system. It's hitting the sort of like more west part of Holland's coastline first, or the Netherlands coastline first, and it's increasing with velocity as it's running upwards, and that's where the gale is. Whereas on the north side of the Frisians, not only has it's been knocked out by the land, it's also the more forward end of it, I think, but we'll have to see. It's still going to be a pretty decent wind, I think up to, you know, a force 5 to 6. Still can't get my speedo to work, my log. I've been trying to fix that for a couple of times now using toothbrush, but I think the paddle is actually bugged. I think it's knackered. I think it needs replacing. strange jet cloud formations going on. This is quite a big Dutch military area. Every single patch on the chart seems to be for military purposes. So anticipating some slightly windier conditions. I'm just gonna sort out some food, cook up some pasta and pesto, and just leave a massive load of it aside so I don't have to do any cooking over the next sort of 24 hours. I think probably be the best shout. I just try and get my head down a little bit as well, because might not get that much kit this evening. We'll have to see what happens with that. That one's got my name on it, but I've just noticed in the water down there there's like a lobster pot or something going on there. That's handy, isn't it? Right in the middle of the shipping lane. So I have decided to cross the TSS shipping channel just north of Chelling. Can't remember how to pronounce it, but yeah, this is just to clear some of the weather along the coast, which is set to blow through in the next sort of few hours. And they're forecasting sort of winds of up to 30 knots, gusting quite close to the islands, and there looks to be some thunderstorms, lightning storms coming up as well following the coast. Nothing forecast for further out, but yeah, typically the thunderstorms will hug the sort of moisture off the land and feed off that, and hopefully they don't head out to sea, because that would be fun. Not get across this is about 10 miles wide, so it gets us well out offshore again, and then when I leave, head east and then head towards Helgoland, and it's literally just a straight course east for 100 miles then. Yeah, I mean the wind can pipe up as much as it wants. We're into 35 meters depth, and sort of reasonably clear of most sort of hazards, if you like. The thing I find being too close to land as well is sometimes you feel like you're gonna kind of nip in there and take shelter, but sometimes that's the worst thing you can do. But hey ho, I kind of like this approach. It's a little bit maybe I should have done it a little bit earlier, but we'll take the broad reach now and cross the TSS in daylight, which is a bit easier on the mind. And yeah, actually it looks quite nice further offshore. It looks quite sunny. That's about as close as you want to get to one of them things. You can just see an offshore platform over there, and The lights on it are slowly disappearing with the visibility. So I've just got one reef in the mainsail at the minute, but I'm thinking with this building scenario I might just take it down and just run with the Genoa, but I've got to admit it does feel quite comfortable at the minute, though the wind pilot's making all sorts of funny sounds, so I'm not sure what to do about that. I was going to throw away these spray dodgers because they're quite old. Probably need a wash and a repair at least, but I haven't even had time to do that. But they're awesome because they just give a little bit of protection from any splashes into the cockpit. Just a bit of canvas. I have got some blank ones at home, but these ones have got stowaway written down the side. And yeah, I'll probably take them down before I go into the Baltic, I think, because it's they are very tight. So I think the front has finally reached us. 1 o'clock, almost on the dot, and wind went from 12 to 18, gusting 25, like literally like a flick of a switch. So had to went up, took the main down, and we're doing 6.5 knots with a full Genoa. Time for some early morning pasta meal. I just woke up a little while ago after a very much needed 20-minute, and I'm absolutely starving, just like a hole in my stomach. So I'm gonna have some pasta. So it's 4:30 in the morning, just started to get light. I can start to see what's going on out there, a very lumpy sea. Well, there you go. So the wind was up at a good sort of 20-25 knots early hours of this morning, and the sea state really picked up, and I couldn't really quite see them until they were literally about a foot away from the stern, and they were over the top of the rail, and they're quite lumpy, to be honest. It's not very comfortable. Still got some of that as well, even though it has died off again. I don't think that's the last of it. Looking astern, it looks like there's some more on its way over. So I'm not going to start looking at things like the mainsail just yet. I'll give that a couple of hours yet, but we're still doing 5 knots just with the Genoa, so that's good. Well, just inside this restricted zone, there's like a number of different sort of reasons why it's a restricted zone. I think one of them's military, another one is a flat fish reserve, another one is just because they don't like you and they don't want you here, but I'm here. Just inside it, like just to the north of this large TSS which I crossed earlier on. I've been going for quite some time, 24 hours, and we've got about 55 miles to run. So yeah, it's about 115 nautical miles in 24 hours. So I mean, a lot of that was with engine, but I think the last sort of 12 hours has been sailing. So yeah, what to say, ETA, I think, given our speed, probably somewhere between 2 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, all going well. I think we are probably looking at a sort of slowly decreasing wind forecast. However, this sea state is not going to go away anytime soon. No, the North Sea, it takes forever for it to chill out, but the tide is heading that way now. It's heading against the wind, so hopefully flatten some of these off, but I think it's just going to make the sea state a little bit more jumpy. The Nick is handling it really well. It's actually, even though it's quite rolly, it's not all that bad, to be fair. So yeah, we're just plugging along and taking each nautical mile as it comes. Go on, Stewie. What happened to summer? That's what I want to know. So yeah, I think we've got this gust coming through. I think this is the big swathe of... Oh my god, that's a big wave. I think there's a sort of the base end of the low pressure, and it's moving up now. Look at these! Humongous! Yeah! Well, the rain is definitely not going away. The wind has dropped slightly, but I don't think that's going to be the end of it just yet. Although there is some blue sky up there, which is quite nice. So nice clear sky astern now. Just a few thunderstorms that had been running along the coast this morning. I did see a few lightning flashes and that was pretty much it, to be fair. Don't know what that is, but it's massive. So we're doing about 5 knots. We've got 39 nautical miles to run, and the tide is about to change in our favour. So I'm thinking we're probably getting there around maybe 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. It's 9 o'clock now, so yeah, if we can keep up a decent speed with the tide, that would be fantastic. If the wind drops, I might just stick on the motor because I am getting pretty tired now, and yeah, I need to obviously moor up and all the rest of it, so I need some energy for that. A couple of little breakages, just the paracord for the port side, one of the port side blocks for the self-steering, the wind pilot, just suddenly went and gave way, all down to like a very small internal core. So I yeah, had to quickly see to that before it went completely. and had a couple of cups in the cabin go smash in the sink, believe it or not. So here we go, Helgoland, after what we're coming up to 36 hours now. This is the western approaches. We're about 7 nautical miles away from it now, and the entrance is just to the south part of the island and then in. Yeah, it looks like someone's nicked a piece of Australia and stuck it in the middle of the North Sea. It's got all like red kind of cliffs, which is quite nice. You can really see the colour quite a fair distance out. So it's duty free here, which means I'm going to fill up with my diesel as best I can. I've got all the jerry cans ready. So yeah, the fuel berth is like more around the inside part of the island, and then the Soundhook, which is like the south sort of marina or haven, is within the port. So there's not a lot of space there, so we might have to raft alongside others. But yeah, needs must. It is starting to get a bit lively again out here. It's the wind's picked up to a nice sort of 13, gusting 20 at times. So look, I've just got an up-to-date weather forecast that it's showing that it's going to get lively over the next couple of days. So I might even just stay here for a couple of days before carrying on towards the Elbe and Brunsbüttel for the Kiel Canal. So the Binnenhaven is somewhere over there. I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to go, to be honest. It's just a big mystery. So that fast ferry is coming out at a hell of a rate. I've just been beeped at and everything because I was messing around with my fenders, but here's the small little haven and that's where I've got to go. Somehow I'm not making pigs here of this. So that's not so bad. 75 or 76 litres for 86 euros. Pretty good. So got in here last night. I was pretty tired, so yeah, just passed out. I had a quick look around before getting my head down, and my GoPro passed out after the refueling, so yeah, didn't get much footage, but it was pretty straightforward. Literally left the Binnenhaven and came round to the main port and onto the Soundhook, which is where all the pleasure boats come and stay. It's pretty reasonable here as well, like €10 for a 10 metre boat, which is, yeah, it's alright. And then there's everything else is sort of paid on top. So if you use electricity, it's like £1 for so many units, and the toilets and the washing facilities, it's €1 to get into the bogs, and then I think it's like €1 for 2 minutes in the shower or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty reasonable. It's just raining at the minute. It's gone actually quite nasty. There's a few boats left this morning, and I'm just trying to catch up on some sleep. I mean, I had a good 10 hours last night, making some coffee now to try and wake up a bit, because I've got to go see the harbour master. He's only there from 8 till 12, so, and I'll probably need to pay a customs a visit as well, and just find out what I need to do with that. On customs, the amount of hours I spent googling and searching on various websites, emailing sort of certain points of contact for customs information, I just got a bit bored of it in the end, so I'm just going to turn up. But because I checked into the EU via the Netherlands, I mean, in theory, I'm stamped into the Schengen countries. So I don't know whether I need another stamp for each country while I'm visiting or not. I'm not sure. But because I'm in a pleasure boat, I'm not just like in free movement. I don't know whether that makes any difference or not. So I'm going to go pay customs a visit today, see what happens. If they tell me I need a stamp or fill out a form, then I will. I'd rather just do it sort of on the move as opposed to spend, ages online trying to figure these things out. It just becomes a pain in the ass. So yeah, spend a couple of days here, I think, have a look around. Helgoland's pretty if you read up about Helgoland, it's it's got a bit of an interesting background. It was owned by the British originally, and then we blew it up pretty well during the First World War, Second World War. One of the single biggest non-nuclear detonations in history. So yeah, so there's plenty of wartime stuff here, and there's a massive sort of cliff on the front, which has got all the birds and nature stuff, so I'm going to go and have a look at that. Helgoland is a German archipelago located 70 kilometres from the German coastline. Its features are 2 main islands, the main island being Halftinsel and the smaller island being June. There are no cars on the island. Transport is by foot, bicycle or small electric carts. It's famous for the dramatic northern coast with red sandstone cliffs and notably the Lange Anna, a single freestanding rock column. Helgoland was under British possession from 1807 to 1890. Then in 1890, under the Helgoland-Zanzibar Treaty, it was handed back in exchange for Zanzibar. In World War II, it became the site for extensive naval fortifications and massive Allied bombing in 1945. The island was evacuated and only resettled again in 1952. Allied bombing of Helgoland, also known as Operation Big Bang, saw nearly 1,000 bombers drop over 7,000 tons of explosives, causing massive damage. In 1947, the British Navy attempted to destroy the military infrastructure completely. This saw the single detonation of 6,700 tons of explosives. It is one of the largest non-nuclear detonations in history. The explosion reshaped the landscape but didn't destroy it completely. The water is quite clear here. Well, I've got to say, the smell is pretty strong up here. just see the second island over there, and what looks like the underwater reef, which stretches quite a fair distance out to sea. So here it is, Big Bang crater. So this is the private marina on the east side of the island. I just saw it from the cliff top. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, give the subscribe button a click. In the next episode, we're going to be transiting through the Gale Canal onward to the Baltic. Again, many thanks for watching, and appreciate all your comments, and I'll see you again soon.